Hey everyone, John here, and I just wrapped up Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. I still can't quite believe this game exists. I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling numb. I'm feeling quite sad. I'm feeling in awe. I don't think any piece of media has come close to giving me the feelings that this game has in a long time. When we're talking books, movies, other games, Emio is masterful. And I'm not going to rob you of the experience by talking about the story. I'm not going to get into all the details and spoil everything. Don't worry about that. But I want to tell you how it makes me feel. So the previous two Famicom Detective Club games were finally localized a few years ago, I think like 3 years ago, in the form of remakes, and I really liked them. The Missing Air and The Ghost Stands Behind. I liked them so much that I imported Famicom Disk System versions because there was no Switch physical in the West, and there was a very small print in Japan, in fact. But The Ghost Stands Behind in particular was really, really swell. Those games are very much of their era, so they are text-based visual novel adventure games. So you get this list of actions you can do, whether it's moving to another area, talking to someone, looking around, thinking to yourself, and a lot of the time it is just kind of guessing which function it wants you to do. Emio's a bit better at that, a bit more streamlined. But those games were very much like, okay, do I ask this question? Do I ask this question? Oh, this progresses the text. Let's just keep doing that. And there's a charm to that. But what's really great about these games is it's all about being grounded and talking to everybody. So you get the mystery. The story is dictated to you. But a lot of the time, it is just talking to people and getting their perspective. And when you talk to all these different characters, the story starts to grow. And you start to understand, pieces of the puzzle and where it's actually going. And you form guesses. Emio is very similar in that regard. But I think the base premise is just more interesting. It hits harder. The characters have more interpersonal relationships. Everyone in the detective agency feels important this time. So, I'm sure you know the basis of Emio. It's about a myth about if a girl is crying, a man wearing a paper bag will come up to them and kill them. He is the smiling man with a smiling face on the bag. And so it's all about uncovering that mystery when an actual murder occurs with someone who's been found dead with a bag on their head. And it all just sort of spirals from there, and you've got to figure out who did this just based on that detail. So you go around the world just trying to talk to people, get more information, and things are generally quite light. I was going most of this game saying, why is this rated 18? It's light a lot of the time. A lot of the conversations you have are very feel good. Obviously, the core of what you're moving towards is not feel good, but the game isn't dark. The bulk of its runtime, you'll feel rather jolly playing Emio for most of what's going on. There are definitely dark moments within the story, but for the most part, it's just about being a dude and a girl exploring the world and forming bonds. But what really brings it all together is that epilogue at the end. Again, no spoilers. But there are all these little chunks throughout its runtime, which are delivered in a very slow burn. This is not a fast-paced game. You will have to stick with it, and I recommend you do. All those little chunks that may seem minuscule on their own are very important. There are small ones that I remember, like, why are we even dealing with this? This feels so insignificant. But then you see it all come together in the epilogue. And not only does the game earn its 18 rating, but it just delivers what I think is one of the best stories ever written. And if you're like mid playthrough right now, you're probably thinking, yeah, all right, John, sure. Because while you're experiencing everything, I think you're probably just gonna think like I am the smiling man. Like this game is feel good. It's not gonna win any awards, but it makes me feel good. But then that epilogue. Sakamoto said people will be talking about the ending for a long time, and he was not wrong. It just makes you reflect on that entire experience. That 8-hour runtime where it was just sort of stringing itself along. You know, there's cool moments, but it's never like, oh, I'm on the edge of my seat, really. But then it all just makes sense. It all just builds to erupting. There's not much more. I'm trying to be very careful with my words as to not give anything away, because I think even the presentation of the delivery of the epilogue will spoil it, will take something away for you. All I can really say is please play this game. I think it is one of the best games I've ever experienced. I don't know if it's like my favorite game, but like it's no doubt one of the best games. So be sure, once you finish it, play the epilogue, because credits will run and you'll say that was really good. But then the epilogue's available, and once that finishes, it's more than really good. It is. I feel like I'm tearing up just sort of talking about it. Like, it makes you feel stuff. One more to say. Please play Emio. I think this is a game that rarely happens. If Nintendo weren't wildly successful with the Switch, they probably would not have greenlit remakes of Famicom Detective Club, let alone a brand new one that's rated 18. But yeah, it's masterful. It is. I'm thankful we have it. That's all I'll say right now. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how much value this video was. This definitely isn't a This isn't a spoiler discussion. This isn't a way for everyone who's played the game to come together and talk about all its plot. This is just my way of trying to get people who haven't played it to play it. There is a demo. But I think you should just play it all. Just take my word for it. Just play it all. I don't want to hear complaints halfway through saying, oh, this is only all right. Play it all. Play it all. Okay? Okay. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.